An hour and a half from sunset in our nation's capital, where recovery crews are still scouring the Potomac River following that deadly collision between a passenger plane and an Army helicopter near Ronald Reagan Airport last night. Earlier today, officials confirmed what many have feared, that none of the 64 people aboard the plane nor any of the 3 people aboard the helicopter survived. So while teams work through the wreckage, the rest of us are left to go about 3 important undertakings, as laid out and articulated by Virginia Senator Tim Kaine earlier today. Those 3 things are sorrow, thanks, and questions. Sorrow for the victims and their loved ones who have lost absolutely everything in an instant. Thanks and gratitude for rescue and recovery crews who have worked tirelessly in frigid waters and conditions. And questions for investigators about how this could have happened in the first place so that we can make sure it doesn't happen again. Because the cause of this tragedy and what led up to it are still, as far as we know, unknown. And yet, from the most powerful podium in the world, the White House briefing room earlier today, Donald Trump, the new president, citing 0 evidence or facts, placed blame squarely at the feet of previous presidential administrations and programs having to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Watch.
I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics at a level that nobody's ever seen. They put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. They actually came out with a directive, too white. And we want the people that are competent.
How you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash?
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
We'll let our viewers decide who's turning to politics today. Again, those comments were made without providing any evidence for them. And in the midst of a horrific tragedy, the worst aviation disaster in decades, and an ongoing search for answers. That answer from Donald Trump standing in stark contrast to the responses from investigators who fielded questions about the collision today.
We do not know enough facts to be able to rule in or out human factor, mechanical factors. That is part of the NTSB investigative process and where all of these groups will come together. It's one of the reasons why the NTSB is known as the gold standard. We will take the time that's necessary.
You need to give us time. You need to give NTSB, it's not that we don't have information. We do have information. We have data. We have substantial amounts of information. We need to verify information. We need to take our time to make sure it is accurate. That's best for you. That's important for the families. It's important for legislators who are seeking answers to try to figure out what they're going to do about this. And so it will take time. We do have a lot of information, but we need some time to verify that.